welcome to Neversink Farm, and I am in the family garden. But what I want to show you is hook and wicket, beginning to end, for trellising tomatoes. And the hook and wicket system is a very simple system used inside hoop houses and high production farms, small scale farms, anywhere from 1/4 of an acre to a few acres, to do them efficiently and fast. I'm here in the family garden because I use them in the family garden anyway because I got a hoop house structure, but because I want to do it beginning to end. And my tomatoes inside, it is June right now, they're already 20 feet long or more, and so I couldn't show you the beginning, so that's why I'm here. Okay, so for the hook and wicket, we need a hook, 2 clips, some string, and wickets. But I'm not putting the wickets in yet because they're very short. We don't need them yet. I'm going to show you the wickets later. The hook comes in many different lengths. You're going to go to our website, and there's a chart to show you how long of a hook you need based on how high your trellis system is, meaning the thing that's holding it. And the great thing about a hook and wicket is you only need a very simple thing. This is just EMT tubing, electrical conduit. You don't need wire or anything because it's all just pulling down and the weight's going to be on the wicket. Okay, so it's just very easy to set up. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tie the string, okay, and we're just making a loop, and I'm pulling it through like that, okay, just like this, pulling it nice and tight, pulling it down to the bottom, and then it hangs. And you want it to hang towards the ground. This one's a little short, but that doesn't matter. Okay, you don't want it on the ground, but you want it close to the ground so that you can put your first clip on. Okay, so I just find a nice secure place underneath a branch, right? But I want the foam underneath the branch, not the clip where it connects onto the pipe, because I can cut the branch. But the foam is intended so that you don't cut the branch and it holds it fast. Now you put your clip on your tomato and then squeeze it and put it onto, okay? I'm just putting it in between like that. And that's it. Now you're started. And as it grows, you only use the second clip now. You can actually put a second clip on, okay? And you're putting it on the same way, so the foam is under the branch. Okay, and this is as it grows. Then I'm putting my second clip on. Okay. Now, the bottom clip is holding the weight, and the top clip is always bringing the rest of the vine nice and straight. Okay. And then we're going to leapfrog them as we go up. So now we're going to head down to the hoop house so I can show you what happens next. Okay, so I'm down in the hoop house with the early season tomatoes, and I don't have one in between that little short one I showed you and another one, but it doesn't make any difference. I'm just gonna use this one as an example so that you can imagine it has the 2 clips on it. Okay. Okay. And we've been leapfrogging the clips, and now we're up to the hook itself. Okay. So, and you always want to put the next clip on after about 18 inches of growth, somewhere in there. And you'll take that bottom clip off, move it up. Now, the important thing when you get to the hook is that it's at the bottom of the hook. Okay. So, at least close to it, because it's going to support the weight next when this gets to here, and then you're going to put your other clip on it, and the bottom of the hook now is going to hold on to the weight, okay? Because the bottom of the hook has a little, like a little button on there that's going to hold it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So now that we have a plant that has grown, okay? So now we have this clip that we left at the bottom of the hook where that little button is. Okay. Now it's holding the weight because I'm removing the other clip from the string and bringing it up higher. Okay. And then I put it in the same place under a branch where the foam is, right? And clip it onto the hook. And that's not holding weight, it's just now getting ready. It's holding the plant in place from flopping over so that it won't break when tomatoes start growing on it or anything like that. Holding it straight, because the next thing I'm gonna do, the same thing we're repeating, is taking the clip off, and the next series is going to be, we're gonna be lowering it, okay? Right, once we get to this position, before we put it on the string, then we leapfrogged up to the hook, right? Then we put a second clip on the hook, and now that 2 clips are on the hook, we're moving to lowering. So we just go to this plant right here, okay? And you can see it has the 2 clips on the hook, right? Then it has some long growth here that we now want to clip, okay? So I'm gonna be taking the clip off the hook, okay? Then I keep my fingers on this hook so that I can lower it, and I just move the hook across the trellising infrastructure, and I'm not leaning, I'm not doing this, I'm just lowering it because all the weight is going to be on the wickets. And then I just take this, right, find a good place to put the clip on it, okay, and clip it on. And this I'm just going to repeat for the life of the tomato, okay? Let me talk about the wickets, okay? You see these wickets here. As the tomato was growing, when they were on the hooks, but not yet being lowered, we just put the wickets in every 20 inches, okay? And as they get lowered, they're lowered onto the wickets, okay? You can see here all these vines on top of the wickets. And we're very early in the season right now. It's only June. We have the rest of June, we have July, we have August, we have September, right? We could be going into October, right? You're talking like 5 more months of growth that this is going to support, and it's supporting all the tomatoes so they don't fall onto the ground. It's making sure that you don't have to do this leaning thing where you're putting all the weight onto the vine itself against the ground, all the weight onto the house, and you need an infrastructure that's holding that thing in place because of all the pull that's happening this way. It just makes it very difficult. So I'm going to show you, now that you see the wickets, of me lowering the tomato onto the wickets. All right, so I'm taking the clip off the bottom of the hook, okay? I have the clip in my hand, holding the other clip with my thumb, okay? So it doesn't come off or anything like that, and have control over it. The great thing is I don't have a lot of weight because the weight's sitting on the wicket, right? And then I just move it over a little bit, and I'm just moving it over as much as I'm lowering it. Lift it up, find a good place. That's a beautiful spot for the clip, okay? And I'm on there. Okay, now I used to use, when my first year farming, I was using the roller hook. I would get up on a ladder. The difference in temperature between here and right up here when you're on a ladder is excruciating. It's just so hot up there. It's bad for you and it's bad for the plants, right? That top should be free of tomato vines. The heat goes up there and hopefully goes out, vents, and it's not a place to be. And it took forever. And I had just bought these brand new roller hooks, and I tested this out. It was like more than 15 years ago now. And I mean, it switched everything. I actually unclipped the vines from the roller hook and clipped it onto this because I didn't want to spend another minute on top of a ladder doing it that way. All right, so that's the system. And here, why don't I show you one last thing, is the removal of the plants when you're done at the end of the season. Okay, all I do is remove 2 clips. That's it. I remove the 2 clips and cut it off at the base or pull it out of the ground, whichever one you prefer, and bring it to the compost pile. There's not a million clips and all the string and all the rest of it, which is a complete nightmare to deal with. This, 2 clips, and then I put the clips back on the hook so they're ready to go next time, and that's the end of it. And then the wickets, you can leave them in place and use them as indoor row cover. You can put row cover on top of it and plant bok choy there, or your winter spinach or whatever, and use it as row cover, or you can just put them at the end of the row and leave them till next season.